Everybody, I know I said that this was the end of the show had ended, but this is something new. Yo, so it just came in, as y'all can see right here with y'all own two eyes, bro, that the Supreme Court has issued their ruling on the presidential immunity case. Right? They said former President Trump claimed to. They said the Supreme Court issued its ruling a 6-3 vote in its highly anticipated case to determine whether presidents have immunity in their actions, official or unofficial. President Trump claimed. When President Trump claimed he had presidential immunity from criminal prosecution, Trump's appeal froze his indictment the nation's capital, where a federal court has charged him with conspiring to subvert the 2020 election results from moving ahead of trial. The Supreme Court's ruling comes less than 5 months before the election day when Trump hopes to retake the White House, giving him the authority to stop prosecutions from proceeding and firing special counsel Jack Smith. Bruh, this shit is crazy. So I'm about to read. No, I'm not about to read that. But yo, this is actually extremely important, and the reason why it's so important is not just because the president is not because the president is immune. So this shows that former presidents as well are now immune. Now, not all former presidents, but all current presidents and presidents in the future are now current presidents, past presidents
The point on this one,
will
President,
now
maybe
be
you can say there's
uh
presidential conduct for
will
which he
now
has
be
absolute immunity,
what is the
and
word? Will
then
now no
the
longer
immunity circle,
be
which includes everything else.
able to be prosecuted by courts and everything due to the actions that they took while in office as president. So what that means is, let's say the president was doing something random, right? Let's say the president, not necessarily. Let's say the president smacked the shit out of somebody, right? The president smacked somebody. The president cannot be charged while as president. He first has to be indicted and removed as president, and then while what is the word? While being impeached and everything and removed from office, then he can be charged. But that's only for official acts though. Now the question is, what counts for an official act and what counts for an unofficial act of Congress? I mean, not Congress, of the president. So would president who calls up somebody and says, "Hey, I need you to find X amount of votes for me so we can win this election in A, B, C, and D," does that count as official act? Or does him just simply walking down the street count as an unofficial act? The range is so narrow now that it's going to take a myriad of different people to actually find out and understand what it truly means to actually determine what is official conduct and what is not official conduct. So before anybody decides to charge people, so for example, with a lot of people were talking about some kid that Obama nuked. I mean, not nuked, but killed it back in 2017. I mean, not 2017, 2014. With that being said, let's say if the courts had ruled against Trump, right? Then Obama could technically be charged for that. But this is history being made, people. Like, yo, the president officially has presidential immunity for official acts, but not for unofficial acts. But now, like I said before, it's going to take a lot of people to understand what the difference between unofficial and official acts of Congress are. Ooh, that's all I was trying to move. All right, let's bring this back. So let's hear what CNBC is saying. 'Cause I know they tight about it.
Justice Sonia Sotomayor.
Mm.
What do you make so far of what you've been able to glean from the decision, Melissa?
So I've done a quick pass through the decision, Craig. I don't know that this is entirely neutral. I think everyone is correct that the court has decided here that official actions may be entitled to a presumption of immunity and unofficial actions are not. But this court actually goes a long way to delineate how certain aspects of the indictment against Donald Trump indicate official conduct for which he would be presumptively immune. So, for example, one of the things that the opinion specifically discusses are those conversations that Donald Trump allegedly had with Mike Pence to persuade him to hold up the Electoral College. The court here says that anytime the president and vice president discuss their official responsibilities, they are engaging in official conduct, and therefore those conversations, which apparently, according to Jack Smith, did not have anything to do with official duties, they are nonetheless part of the president's official duties because they occur with someone who is part of his milieu as president, and it is up to the government to rebut that presumption of immunity. So while this is going to go back to Judge Chutkan, and I think that it is exactly right that this will certainly delay the start of this trial, and we likely will not get a trial here, I think it is much more dramatic a sea change than some are allowing. This is essentially saying that anytime the president does something in the scope of the office, maybe even in we assume that it is presumptively official. And Justice Sotomayor is right. That is a huge sea change from what we have had in the past. And I think it is entirely inconsistent with the constitutional principle that the president is not a king.
Stand by for me, Melissa, as well, for folks who are watching right now.
So I get what she's saying, that it's that this is inconsistent for constitutional by saying that the president is not a king. That is true. The president is not a king, but the Supreme Court made up in it when they said that he can be charged for he is not immune to unofficial acts. By stating that he is not charged with unofficial acts does open up a broad possibilities. This doesn't say that he's immune from anything. If the president walks down the street and he shoots some random person, the president will then be impeached and then he'll be charged. Now, let's say the president says, "Oh, this person was on a terrorist," and he has documents proving the person was going to do something. Then you have something else to fight, something else to argue, bitch, moan, and complain about. That then is going to be immune. He's going to be immune because that would be considered an official act. So now the question is, with all these cases going on that about what Trump did while he was president, including the voting situation down in Georgia, as well as the Jack Smith case, and if I'm correct, it's like 2 or 3 more cases that do coincide with him doing things while in office that that have to be determined were unofficial or official, will most likely be thrown out. The Jack Smith case, I think that's going to be thrown out by the end of the week. What else? The Jack Smith case is going to be thrown out by the end of the week. It's another case. I think the Georgia case might be the Georgia case with Fani Willis might be thrown out too. But this is interesting, bro. We're living in interesting times, people. We are living in interesting times, bro. Thank y'all for joining and watching today. Any new updates and stuff, I'll keep y'all posted.